Papa was certain that the wall was going to stop grav gun fire. Wasn't certain that the wall was going to stop grav gun fire, though, so he personally intended to take one shot and then get the fuck out. The height also had a dropout system under higher than normal gravity with a bouncer at the bottom. If they didn't return fire in microseconds, it was golden. And they'd have to be very, very good to spot and return fire and get a shot through the loophole that fast. The ACS point, however, had eliminated all the sensors in the room, so he wasn't quite sure exactly where they were. He knew they were in there, but not exactly where. He was, and he knew it, going on hope. If the command group, especially the commander, was in the right spot, he'd get a shot, and at least for a moment disrupt the attack. If not, he was still planning on getting the fuck out. The rabbits are in the pantry, Candy whispered. The entire base was wired. There was no way they were going to risk radio communication up against ACS. Candy was hooked into an outlet in the wall, a hidey hole, and another wire ran a rather old-fashioned set of headphones. Initiate in 5, Papa whispered. Candy, call it and lift on command. Roger, Candy said. 5, 4. Papa settled into position and snuggled the heavy grav rifle into his shoulder. The port dropped, and for Michael O'Neill, Sr., time froze. The commander of the attack had set up more or less where he expected, and he had him, unquestionably, dead to rights. A hair's breadth squeeze. The port would drop. He would drop out. Defenses would close around him. He would live. The ACS commander would be dead, and that would give some of his men, some of his family, a brief second chance. He had the crosshairs dead on the sniper triangle of his suit. Right under the helmet there was a slight weakness. His son had mentioned it to him more than 50 years ago, and if there was one thing that Papa O'Neill had an elephant's memory for, it was military trivia. His son. The armor was distinctive. Papa had seen it on repeated news clips over the decades. News clips that he stored and replayed over and over again in his most private moments. His son. The battles that he and Callie had engaged in for decades were important. He would have given up the strife long before if he didn't believe that. Would have dragged his granddaughter away if he didn't think they mattered. But they were cold, dank, bitter. There was an honor there, but it was constantly tarnished. There were no parades, few medals, and damned well nothing to write home about. His son. Of all his children, his grandchildren, even the immensely successful Michelle, Mike was the one who carried everything from Papa's perspective, good and right and clean and perfect in the world. It was not something he would ever mention to Callie, ever hint. Nothing of his children by Sherry would ever suspect. Which was why he replayed those clips only when he was in his most private moments. Really, only Candy ever knew. A hint, a flinch, a deep breath, and the nanometers left to trigger squeeze would be complete. And his son would be puree inside of his customized armor competency. They would not win the battle, but would help immensely. The ACS, their most cherished hero dead, would be livid but confused. If Mike O'Neill could die, what were they facing? If his son could die. It was an instant, a flash of neurons that processed more information in less time than the most sophisticated AIT. A gestalt of total oneness. A perfect moment for any warrior.